Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today I am at the beautiful Brookgreen Botanical Garden here in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. Not only is this a fantastic plant collection, but they have a world-class sculpture garden. Now, temperatures are dropping quickly, and I am just going to do a quick lap around so that you can get the taste of this garden. If you haven't visited, you should definitely put this on your must-see list. You can see the cold front is moving in, and it is super cold. Lots of daffodils in bloom, and just the most remarkable sculptures are scattered all over this massive property. Of course, you can tell I'm in the low country. Big old trees and lots of Spanish moss. Lots of Spanish moss has actually fallen to the ground and is like almost like tumbleweeds out here today, blowing around on the ground. So here I am, these beautiful beds of daffodils. And this has always been one of my favorite sculptures here in the garden. I try to come here at least once a year. I love these three girls lounging about. You can see the azaleas are starting to flower. And this is kind of a nice, quiet, less windy pocket of the garden. I can't believe it was like in the 70s this morning and it's so cold now. This is one epic live oak that it's so great to be here right now because it's like I have the whole garden to myself. Look at that tree. And look at these massive arching branches. You can see they've had plenty of moisture. The resurrection ferns are green. And it comes down into this beautiful retaining pond. This is just one of my favorite low country public gardens. It's so southern and it's so pretty. And look at this beautiful silver and white border with the sable palmettos. And those are foxgloves in bloom and senecio. And I spy parsley. So technically this counts as a foodscape. Look at that anemone. This is one called Mount Everest. That's really pretty. Wow, these foxgloves are gorgeous. There's a big difference between my zone 7 and low country zone 8 for sure. And you can actually see the yellow, that's pollen. And really we're just at the beginning of pollen season. My nose is all stuffy. Right now it's primarily oaks, but the pines are starting. There's another incredible alley of live oaks through here. And I've had the opportunity to come here at Thanksgiving. And not only did they serve a great Thanksgiving meal, but all of these are decorated for the Christmas season with an incredible light display. So it's really worth scheduling a trip to come here anytime, but I would really recommend in between Thanksgiving and New Year's to get to enjoy the lights at night. Gosh, live oaks. It's hard to imagine that mine would ever look like this. I don't think they will, because I'm in the northern range. But they are such an inspiration. Just imagine the experiences that these trees have lived through. World wars, hurricanes, plagues. It's so inspiring. You can see Elysium starting to flower. I don't recommend getting too close. The flowers of this don't smell great. And kind of tail end of camellia season here. They have a really terrific camellia collection. And I'm here because I just spoke at their symposium with my dearest friend and mentor, Dr. Michael Durr. And I got to do two programs, one on foodscaping and one on heritage camellias. So hopefully everybody enjoyed those programs and are now taking a chilly stroll through the garden. This is a real pleasure to be here. I've never been here at this time of year, and I've also never been here when it was so empty, and I know that the weather is the contributing factor for that. It truly is such a grand space. Some great examples of camellia companions. You've got an overstory of camellias, and you know, you've got holly ferns and Ophiopogon, aspidistra. My favorite, Rhodia japonica. I love rhodias. These are great in dry shade. Animals don't eat them. We've got fatsia. Look at the seed heads on these. They're so interesting. So cool. This wind is definitely making a mess of things. See lots of palmetto leaves down. There's so many cool fountains here along with the beautiful statuary. And you look over here, you can see more snapdragons, nemesia, foxgloves. Really, it looks like spring, even though it doesn't feel like spring. And this is another beautiful water feature. If you look here, beyond that, another incredible fountain. And around this side, looking down to a huge sculpture that I think overlooks the marsh. Here is their kitchen garden, which I think is really charming. They do grow a lot of food in here. They might actually be open. That's a little restaurant. They have quite a few different restaurants here. And oh, look at all those beautiful leafy greens. Isn't that so pretty? Who says vegetables are ugly? I think they're not only beautiful, but bountiful. Well, you can see I'm really styling, but it is very cold. And unfortunately, my phone is about to die, so I'm not going to be able to do a complete tour. But I hope you will be inspired to plan a visit to Brookgreen Gardens here in the low country of South Carolina. You won't regret spending some quality time in this beautiful public garden. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.